The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. Like that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Like that. Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bad. You ain't get. Too bad. My bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Yeah. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello. The check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. But a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give it back. My bad when the check hit the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Ooh, why you do that like that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Like that. Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bad. You ain't get. Too bad. My bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Yeah. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the marquee game of opening weekend, and off we go on a Sunday night on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Ready, right to the 3.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Watch twist. Watch twist.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Nice, sweetheart. Watch the safety creep. Check 52.
Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Newton on 3rd down. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Ready, blue ready.
Yeah, right there, 54 Mike. You.
Play fake. Winston going for it all. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Here we go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10.
Great.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contact.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
59 Mike, 59 Mike.
Following the interception, Winston. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 23 yards, the final tally.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third and short yardage. Winston. He's got Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans with his second touchdown in this opening quarter as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Throwing on second down, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Carl Nassib coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long.
20.
54 Mike, 54 Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
From the gun, here's Newton. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 23. Skirts by him at the 35. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Jameis to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player? Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Kill. Out.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports. Throwing on third down, Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin White in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Henry. 54. Watch 54. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Mike's 5'4". Mike's 5'4".
To throw is Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
it's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to look deep for Perriman. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
Ready?
Here we go. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And some room to roam now. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He's got his man on the crossing route. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And this one is right through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing football.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. From the 29, Winston. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Mike spot 9.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
One back in the game. That's Jones, second and goal.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Winston, and he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Stop your whining. Right there.
Throwing again. Newton. Got a throw right sideline is complete. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Newton now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Newton to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Newton now to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll go again to Jones. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Mike.
Ready? Blue ready. Oh, here we go. Oh. Flip it.
Mike, check.
Winston from the gun on third down. And, Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked off by James Bradbury. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. They go for just one here as it's up and good, and that will get them one closer.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They're on 35-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 19. Jameis now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10.
Back to the 19-yard line.
From the red zone now, Winston. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Watch the pass.
Winston. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now Winston. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
He may try and run for this. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
Check, nickel, nickel, nickel. Check, 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 check. Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare.
Now Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. It's second and goal back to the 8-yard line now.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Let's go.
To throw, Winston. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Come on, fellas.
Take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check Mike, check Mike. 54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check, watch 54, watch 54.
To throw is Newton. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. First down, Carolina.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Gun.
Mike 54, Mike 54. So don't say nothing.
The shotgun snap for Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. Right around the 17-yard line.
Ready? White 25.
Mike 54, Mike 54.
I got you.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. He sets up the screen to Jones. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On second down, it's Jones. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. They'll come out in the pistol.
They can't hang with us. Honey.
Mike 54, Mike 54, Mike 54.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
One back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal.
Hey, I'm coming. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Mike 54, Mike 54. Bandit.
Here's Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
20. Gun.
3rd and 2, Newton. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. The Panthers going for it on 4th. Newton throwing right, and that's complete. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for you.
Oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they?
Mike Evans, he's going to go. 20. 10, and he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, 79 yards, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Newton on first down. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. Newton now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Great.
One set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I got him.
Here's Newton. And that is incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passing we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
54's Mike. Check. Go. 54. I got one. Mike's 5'4".
It's going to be a long.
They snap it to Newton. Room to run past midfield. Looking again for Thomas. This time complete. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
11 yards and a Panther first down. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's